Welcome to the GCN Show.
Hello and welcome to the GCN Show, brought to you by our mates at Wiggle.
This week we're absolutely packed to the rafters, starting with cycling's darkest secrets.
I ended up just sort of taking an aimed run up and
Okay.
Brace yourselves for that one.
Yeah, we've got news from Trek, news from Zwift, and
I am at the start of Ride London with a team from World Bicycle Relief. We're going to ride 100 miles to raise money for Buffalo Bikes and for World Bicycle Relief. Wish us luck.
And I'm here in Flanders at the start of the Transcontinental race.
oh, by the way, you don't have to worry about this being a particularly scientific GCN show. I'm wearing science glasses actually because I've been watching too much Tour de France and my eyes have gone a little bit funny.
Welcome back. You're watching the Global Cycling Network with me, Simon Richardson.
This week in the world of cycling, we learned that some cyclists really are free-spirited. Nick Mazidis spotted this chap riding down the freeway in the Bay Area. Yep, that really is a naked dude riding down the freeway.
Yeah, I tell you what though, Tom Dumoulin nearly had to ride the penultimate stage of the Tour de France naked as well, because we also learned this week that even world champions can forget their gym kit. The difference actually between being world champion and one of us though is that someone kindly made him some more and then hand delivered it to the start line.
Yeah, and I think he'd be thanking his lucky stars that fortunately his kit sponsor, Estée Lauder, were located just 45 kilometres away.
It's true, that covering his arse in more ways than one. And also glad that they work on a Saturday.
Yeah, true that. Now, we also learned, quite by accident, that Dan Lloyd has been harbouring a dark secret.
I once had to put a squirrel out of its misery because it had been slightly chopped up but not quite killed after it run through my mate's Spinergy four-spoke wheel. Yeah.
That's not saying at all, is it? How did you do it?
I ended up just sort of taking an aimed run up and
Okay,
running
right, moving on then. Right, we'll need to leave it there. So, I don't know about you guys, but I've got that image in my head now.
I had it in there for 25 years.
Understandably, perhaps, that has triggered an avalanche of comments, much of which is frankly quite alarming. So we've anonymised it all, and you will see why.
Yeah, before we delve into this murky underworld, we should probably address the biggest elephant in the room, potentially cycling's darkest secret, doping.
Yeah. Now, do I think that doping is cycling's darkest secret? Well, historically, it's been pro cycling's biggest problem, hasn't it? And you know what? I don't think it is anymore. I appreciate that's just my opinion, and many of you are going to disagree, but I think the issue with this debate, full stop, is that there isn't actually any concrete evidence on either side, is there? I mean, people are still failing dope tests, but a lot of people aren't, but yet that won't satisfy the majority of people.
Yeah, well, what about the other slightly smaller elephant in the room? Is motor doping cycling's darkest secret? Well, I think my opinion on this is no. And the reason for that is because I don't believe it's a problem, because if someone had developed a system that was an effective motor that could be concealed within a bike, why would you sell it to a very small market of just pro teams? You'd rather sell it to the mass market and make far more money.
Yeah, it's true. And before you say, well, pro racing is big budget, if you put it in context, the biggest pro team, Team Sky, their annual budget is a little over 30 million quid. The annual global e-bike industry is worth $6 billion. And so, yeah, it does kind of look like peanuts when you put it in comparison, doesn't it?
Yeah, if I'd developed a really efficient hidden motor, then I know where I'd want to sell it.
Yeah.
Fatsu are kind of leading the way with their system, and it's very neat and can be very well concealed, but it's still pretty obvious when it's fitted to a bike. And they've just secured an additional $8 million of funding for their system as well.
Yeah, so they're doing all right, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now, again, we understand that many of you are going to disagree about this, but let's at least wait till there's kind of hard evidence. The fact that the UCI have got their pretty effective, it seems, X-ray unit that's been going around the Tour de France is pretty reassuring. And also, not just looking for skeletons in the closet. That whole thing about poor old Tom Scoynes at the Tour de France.
Yeah.
No one raised the question that it would be a really, really rubbish motor if it managed to spin his back wheel, and then as soon as he drops his bike on the tarmac, the bike stops instantly.
That's because he turned it off as soon as it touched.
Oh, I see. Because I thought it was like a 0.001 watt motor there. But anyway, yeah, we go. So yeah, I think we need to look for skeletons in the closet.
So that's enough of pro racing secrets. Now on to the real hard stuff.
Cycling,
the
generally.
seriously dark secrets, which have all come courtesy of you lot.
That's right. Okay, let's go for it. Number 1. I go segment bashing late at night, not a euphemism, on downhill segments when it's quieter. That kind of sounds like a dark secret, given that you're doing it at night, but actually it also sounds quite sensible, that one. I think you need to be afraid of that one.
Yeah, as long as it's not too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or too dangerous, full stop. I mean, downhill segments do seem a bit crazy. Anyway, we've started with a gentle one.
Yeah. So number 2, I only pretend to like mountain biking as much as road cycling for the cute president of my uni cycling club.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to pretend to like mountain biking for some reason, haven't you? Right then, number 3, I refused to ditch the boxer shorts under my bib shorts for years, but I denied it all the time.
Oh, God.
You know, that one, you might have been denying it, but we could all see. If you hide your boxer shorts under your cycling shorts, there's a pretty significant chance of a VPL, isn't it? A visible panty line. So, you know, yeah, everyone was like, oh, really? No pants, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So number 4, this is especially dark. I once killed a bunny rabbit because it ran in front of my front wheel. So the key thing here is the wording, right? Not I killed a bunny rabbit with my front wheel as it ran through my front wheel. It's I went and killed it. It implies that I went and killed it after he tracked it down later on, hunted it down.
That's just because a rabbit cut you up, that's no excuse to go and kill it. Not advocating that at all. And number 5, I have a lockup with my really special bike in. My partner, now ex, never knew about it. Well, there we go.
Well, never knew about it. Once they found out about it, that was it.
Well, yeah.
That was his ex.
To be fair, I like the idea of like a secret vault where you can just keep your very special bike away from prying eyes. Yeah, I'd love one of those.
Number 6, there's one time I once peed in my cycling shorts in heavy rain.
That's disgusting. Although I've got a dark secret.
Yeah.
Ollie.
Well, have you done that?
No, but someone once peed in their cycling shorts whilst racing in heavy rain in front of me, and I could tell when the road spray went from water to urine.
Did
So
it warm you up, though?
No, it was revolting, and I shouted at them very loudly. I mean, no, you're never going to hide that. It's pretty obvious when you start weeing yourself when you're riding in heavy rain. As someone who's witnessed it close at hand, yeah, that's not a secret.
So the next one we've got here is, sometimes I only shave the bottom part of my legs.
What a weird universe cyclists live in, that the dark secret isn't shaving legs, it's just only shaving bits of your
The
legs.
visible part.
Yeah,
I like
I do that as well though, to be fair.
Well, I like to think that the person who's written that wears 3/4 length bib shorts and then just shaves the bit in between the socks and a little section of calf.
Economical with razor blades. Right, number 8, I triple dipped my mate's Vaseline when they weren't looking. Now we're assuming this is for some kind of chamois cream. That is a bit gross. I'd definitely keep that one a secret.
What if your mate had double dipped before you triple dipped as well? And that's like
So
the joke's on you.
you've wiped it 3 times all over your shoe. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Be careful about that. Have your own pot of Vaseline, for goodness sake.
Next one is, I'm using the GCN club socks, mostly for mountain biking.
Oh my word.
Get out.
I'm not sure what to think about that. No, fair enough actually. They're nice socks and well, mountain biking. It's all under the same umbrella, isn't it? I'm all for that.
Did you write this next?
Number 10, I'm a professional bike mechanic and I use WD-40 to fix nearly everything. What can I say to that? You shouldn't be afraid of that. It's not a secret. That's well, that's something you celebrated, isn't it? Right, number 11, I watch GCN and I don't even cycle.
That's my favourite one. That's great.
Yeah? Genius, fair play. Well done to you. Right, Ollie, what about you, mate? Any dark secrets hidden in the closet?
Oh, too many. I don't want to lose my job. But I think, okay, something I'm definitely guilty of is setting up a Strava segment on like a particularly well-known section of road, but just sort of tactically altering either the start of the segment or the end of the segment so that it's in a point where people necessarily aren't going as hard. So I get the KOM.
Really? That's funny. I can't can't imagine where you might have done that, Ollie. Right, make sure you get involved in the comment section down below. If you've got a guilty secret and you feel like you need to share, you know where to put it in the comment section.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
We're going to start, I think for the first time ever, with news of running, because someone has just run the route of the Tour de France, and they deserve some serious credit for that.
Yeah, run the Tour de France. So Peter Thompson has averaged 30 miles a day, that's more than a marathon, every day for 68 days to cover an astonishing 2,082 miles, the length of this year's tour. And he's done it all in a bid to raise money for the mental health charity Mind. And raise money he did, over 20 grand. Like, fair play.
Yeah, fantastic job, Peter. That's a fist bump for you. Now, we've got some news from Zwift coming up because they've just given us a little heads up to say that there is a new course coming. This is a recreation of the UCI World Championships course from Innsbruck, Austria, which is going to be raced in September this year. The good news is that we don't need to wait that long. In fact, we've only got to wait till Thursday, the 2nd of August.
That's right. The new Innsbruck Tyrol course will focus on the short lap section of the World Champs course, which is going to be the finishing circuit of both the men's and women's races. And the key feature of this course is a 7.9 kilometre climb that averages 5.9%, making it one of the toughest World Champs finishing circuits we've had in, well, ages, really.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be an area of the Innsbruck town area as well, so it'd be really nice.
Yeah, and then to give us a little bit more bang for our bucks, Zwift have also added in a few extra kilometres of undulating road, basically make it even better for normal cycling as opposed to just selecting the world champion. And they've also thrown in a few extra Tyrol landmarks as well that you need to keep your eyes peeled for.
Yeah, I can't wait to ride it. From virtual Austria to Wales now, many of you will be familiar with the iconic red Royal Mail postboxes we have in the UK. Now, after the London 2012 Games, the successful gold medalists were honoured by having their local boxes painted gold. And there's a campaign currently happening in Cardiff for Geraint Thomas's local postbox to be painted yellow.
That's such a weird British thing, isn't it? Anyway, it gives you a bit of an insight into the British psyche there. Right, now a few weeks back, we told you about Alberto Contador's frankly eye-watering power data that he said was needed to win the Tour de France. I think it was from just prior to one of his victories, where he did 7-point-something watts per kilo for 20 minutes, so utterly bonkers. Anyway, he might have retired last year, but it seems like he is still in really rather good shape.
Yeah, that's right. So ahead of stage 17 of this year's tour, which went up the Col de Porte, Bertie went for a cheeky little spin on his Trek Madone disc, so aero bikes can climb, I guess, because he took the KOM on that climb. And then when the pro race eventually went through it, only 4 pros on Strava were able to better his time.
Yeah, not bad, Bertie, but not quite as good as Ollie here, who still has the KOM for the entire Tour de France stage.
I don't like to brag.
No, I mean that's remarkable, mate. So well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Where did the segment start?
We don't need to worry about it. We don't need to delve into that.
Nah, fair enough.
I am here in London at the Folding Bike World Championships with BROMPTON on the mall, ready to race. And I thought this would be bit of a laugh, but it turns out it's actually quite serious. Unfortunately, I'm not very fit and I'm not very good at unfolding my bike, but let's see how it goes. Did you have a good time? Yay! That's what we like to hear. Well, that was amazing. I am proud to say that I am the new BROMPTON Folding Bike World Champion for GCN. Thank you to everyone at GCN who supported me towards this goal. Peter, our new mechanic, who helped me get the BROMPTON ready, and to all of you guys who trained with me, pushed me home from work, encouraged me to come. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I am so proud.
Right, some news from here at GCN now. We've got a super cool new way for you to upload photos and videos to share with us. So whether that's for
Hacklebodge?
Yeah, or welcome to the GCN Show, or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. You just got to hit on the link. That'll also be in the description, beneath every GCN video, in fact. And then, well, it's pretty straightforward. I managed it pretty easily, so anyone can do it, therefore. And yeah, please do make the most of it, because we always love hearing from you and seeing your photos and watching your videos.
Yeah, all of which leads us perfectly onto our exciting new feature.
It's time now for our brand new weekly inspiration, brought to you by our mates over at Wiggle. You send in your best inspirational photos of the week. We pick the winners. Wiggle then kindly hand over the prizes. 50, 75 and £100 vouchers up for grabs each week. So you can then, you know, go and take more inspirational photos and have amazing rides.
Yeah, that top prize is the equivalent of 836 Danish kroner in today's exchange rate. Is that a good accent? You like that?
I don't know. Anyway, there you go. 836 kroner. Brilliant. Thanks, Ollie. Right, in third place, we have this stunner of an image taken by Bella Malloy. Now, looks a little bit wintry, perhaps, but no. This is Australia. Ollie tracked down the Untitled Dam to New South Wales. Anyway, Bella says this gem is a little-known short local climb near Untitled Dam. Always an adventure with a switchback through the forest.
Yeah, I mean, this competition's about inspiration, and looking at that image, I'm inspired. I want to go there.
Yeah.
I want to go there. It looks awesome.
It does. It looks absolutely fantastic. There's something really tranquil, I always think, about riding through forests. I mean, admittedly, that's Australia, where I'd be petrified that death would lurk around every corner in the form of like a spider or a snake or something. But still,
crocodiles. That wood will be littered with crocodiles.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. It's Australia.
Yeah. Anyway, so inspiring photo, and also congratulations for dicing with death on a daily basis, riding in Australia. Right then, what's up, second place, mate?
In second place, we have this image from Joe Meissner from Ontario. And
that's cool.
It's just a beautiful silhouetted image of him riding home with the sunset. And I don't know, I really like it because it sums up that thing for me where you've gone out on an epic ride and you're on the home leg back home and you're gonna go get your dinner and and you know, maybe have a few beers or something.
Yeah, I totally get that, but for me it's not about epics, it's about like a sneaky hour blast after work.
Yeah.
That's a cool feeling when you ride home and you've like smashed yourself for an hour and you get like, oh, that was great. Anyway, congratulations, that's £75 voucher for you, Joe. And the winner, Ollie, this was your pick, and I do agree. Who gets it?
Yeah, the winner is Abahangi, or Stuart Reed, which is his real name, with this shot of his bikepacking adventure in Norway. And I've not been bikepacking yet, and I really want to, and so this is like really inspiring to me, but also because I've not been to Norway before, and I really, really want to go to Norway. And I love the rainbow he's got there and just the tranquility of the scene.
Yeah.
Like, he just looks like he's alone in the middle of nowhere and he's got the world to himself, and I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree there completely. So congratulations to you. That's £100 and the first ever winner of our GCN Weekly Inspiration Photo Competition. So there you go. Anyway, you know the score by now. Please keep those photos coming in. If nothing else, what an amazing morning we've had looking at inspirational photos that you've all sent in. That's brilliant, this job. I didn't think it'd get much better, Ollie, but it definitely has. And as well as the hashtag GCN Inspiration on Instagram, remember, of course, that you can send them in directly to us as well. The link to the uploader is in the description.
Sticking with inspiration for a minute though, Si, we wanted to tell you about a video that we've got coming out that we made with Continental tyres on stage 10 of this year's tour. We think it's a pretty awesome video. It's out Sunday, so stay tuned for that.
Gaviria, Groenewegen, it's Dylan who does it, Groenewegen.
For a teenager passionate about cycling, there can't be any dream greater than the Tour de France. Through Continental's Les Cadets Juniors, the next generation of cycling talent get to live that dream for one day. Imagine that.
Tech of the week now, and Trek have just released an all-new Emonda ALR for 2019. Now, the ALR referring to aluminium as the material, so this is a new version of their lightweight Emonda platform.
The new Emonda ALR features hydroformed aluminium tubes, direct mount brakes on the rim brake version, new paint jobs, women-specific versions, and it's also impressively light for an aluminium bike.
You can say that again. So for the disc brake version, a frame in size 56, unpainted, is 1,132 grams, which, to put it in context, is lighter than the mid-range Imonda SL carbon model. And bear in mind, the aluminium is significantly cheaper.
Yeah, it potentially offers really good value, but it looks absolutely mint. Like, the welds are all sort of hidden, and the tube shapes they've got out of the aluminium, it looks like almost like a carbon bike.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's really impressive.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of metal bikes, and I'm a big fan of that one.
Now, something else we also love here at GCN is a custom painted pro bike. And this week, Dutch national road champion Mathieu van der Poel posted this picture of his especially tasty looking Canyon Aero disc in national colours. Check this out.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm particularly a big fan of the way he's got the Shimano wheels on there with the tan sidewalls on as well. Looks proper smart. Racing news now. Firstly, we're going to head over to Belgium for the start of the Transcontinental.
We're here at the start of the Transcontinental race, and at 10 o'clock tonight, these 240 riders will be starting off on their epic, and I don't use that word lightly, 3,800 kilometre ride right across Europe. We've been talking to the riders and looking at their setups, so make sure you stay tuned on the channel for those videos coming soon. And for now, best of luck to all the riders on the TCR.
This week we have to give a big shout out to Martin Toft Madsen for his hour record attempt. Now this guy works full time as an engineer and crowdfunded his attempt and trip to Mexico, where he tried to break the hour record at the Aguascalientes velodrome, which is known to be one of the fastest tracks out there because it's at altitude. If you say it really quick, that's how you pronounce it.
No, I mean, your Danish accent has improved in this GCN show, but at the expense of your Spanish accent, clearly. Anyway, to be fair, better than mine. Right, what little I know about Madsen could probably be summed up with the word meticulous, particularly the way he's prepared for this event. Apparently, his bike and his equipment choices were tailored specifically to create the fastest setup possible.
Yeah, all about the gains, and his bike of choice was the very aero-looking Electron Pro from Argon 18. And we're going to go into more detail about the bike and kit used by Madsen in the GCN Tech Show on Thursday.
Yeah, ultimately, he did just miss out on the record. He said he held the record pace for as long as he could, but just dropped it in the last quarter of the hour. He still smashed the Danish record, though, by 1.3 kilometres, but was still 800 metres behind the world record.
Yeah, fair play, Martin, and fair play for being the second fastest man in history.
Yeah, that's quite a good title, isn't it? Now, some sad news from the women's peloton, as Rochelle Gilmore, who's the owner of the Wiggle High Five team, announced that she would be disbanding the team at the end of this season after 6 really successful years. So that is a real shame, isn't it?
Yeah, and while on the subject of shame, I think we have to have a look at the GCN Tour de France predictions.
Chris Froome.
Primoz Roglic.
Chris Froome.
Adam Yates.
Chris Froome.
Romain Bardet.
Chris Froome. Vincenzo Nibali.
Geraint Thomas will win this year's Tour de France.
So Emma nailed it again, and she's become world champion again. She's determined to raise the bar of GCN presenters, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should now leave racing news with the words from the newly crowned Tour de France champion, Geraint Thomas.
Thank you very much, and vive le Tour.
Hurry up, mate.
You done there, mate?
No.
It's now time for the GCN giveaway, and this week we're announcing 3 lucky winners of Physique R1 Infinito knits. And they are
Stefan Hafmann from Germany.
Alex Collins from Great Britain.
Right, and Laura Young from the United States. So congratulations to all of you 3. Do let us know what colours you go for. I would go for the like the purple ones, actually. Weirdly, I know, but I think they look so cool.
I think I really like the grey ones because they're the ones that Geraint Thomas has, and he's really cool.
That's true, actually. The grey ones are pretty wicked. Right, now speaking of giveaways, or almost giving it away, we've actually got a bit of a sale on in the GCN shop, of which I've got some of the amazing goodies here for you. There's up to 50% off in this summer sale. So we've got Camelback bottle. This is like a mini unboxing.
Nice, nice.
Can coolers, the bottle opener.
We robbed that from Eurobag, didn't we?
That's a good. Well, no, we didn't. No, that's got GCN written all over it. T-shirt. I'm a big fan of that one. So yeah. Anyway, make sure you head over to the GCN shop where there's some even bigger bargains to be had than normal. It's time now for hack/bodge. Come on, mate.
Sorry, mate.
/bodge week.
Go again. I'm already.
It's time now for hack/bodge of the week, and we're going to start with some Transcontinental hacks that Katherine spotted over at the start line in Flanders. Start with this, frankly terrifying one, which is Roger Seaton, who is racing the entire Transcontinental on a BROMPTON, on a folding bike. Anyway, Katherine pointed out that he stashed 5 tubes on the frame and inside the frame, as well as a tyre that's been strapped on as well.
Do you think he's doing the Transcontinental on a BROMPTON because he's planning on folding it up and getting on some public transport? I mean, is that his secret plan?
That is one of cycling's darkest secrets. That's harking back to the earliest days of the Tour de France when we used to take public transport.
Yeah. No one seems to have flagged this.
No. I can only assume that's the reason, because the idea of riding 2,000 miles on a BROMPTON is utterly, utterly terrifying. I mean, maybe they're great to ride for 2,000 miles.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it being particularly great.
But it is really cool how he's come up with all these little like nooks and crannies to store inner tubes and bits and pieces all over his bike. I think that's a hack for me.
All right, fair enough. So the concept is a bodge, but actually the execution is a hack. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
All right, well done, Rog. That's a hack. What's up next, mate?
We've got these custom-made carbon fibre lubricant and toothbrush holder. And he's also got these carbon fibre bags as well.
Yeah. The carbon bags look pretty cool, don't they? I mean, with your aerodynamics mind, Ollie,
Yeah.
is that an aerodynamic setup?
Well, lightweight as well, presumably.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty aero. I mean,
all his equipment must be quite narrow. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
There's not much room for stuffing. And as for the toothbrush holder and the lube holder, I mean, fair enough. I can see why. Like a plastic bag would probably also keep your other equipment clean.
Yeah.
But there we go. Yeah. Either hack.
Yeah.
Anything that's bodged together out of carbon fibre automatically becomes a hack, doesn't it? Is that some kind of rule?
I mean, there's a certain amount of effort that's gone into that.
Yeah, there is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Next, we have nprice89, who's said that he removed a sticker and ruined the sticker, and then he's used a cable tie to add rigidity to the sticker as he's put it back on. Now, for me, this is a bit of a bodge, and that's also, I can tell it's a Ride London sticker, because I had one of those as well this last weekend gone. But it gave me an idea, this one. So I'm saying this is a bodge, but I was thinking, when a lot of times you do an event and you have to stick a sticker on your bike, and they flap around and they're annoying, but there's nothing to stop you getting a piece of card and putting it in between, sandwiching it in between the sticker, and then you've got like a harder, more rigid sticker number at the back. Well, so it's given me an idea.
We talked about Emma raising the bar of GCN presenting. Ollie, you've just volunteered your own hack in Hack or Bodge, which is
I'm going to try it out.
Which is next level. So yeah, fair enough. In fact, that's quite mean because nprice89 has just been consigned to the Bodge bin, and you've just trumped his idea with a hack. But there we go. Anyway, fair enough. This next one, I don't even know where to start with this. Parky, South London. I lost the peak that went on my helmet the other day. I've decided to replace it by gluing another peak from an old club cap onto it. Oh my God.
Kill it with fire.
That's terrifying.
That is...
What was wrong with the cap under the helmet? And you know, if you get really hot, you can always just cut the top of the cap off.
What's
but it
he
still
glued
looks
it on
alright.
with?
Well, quite a traumatic bodge for all of us to have witnessed. Anyway, do please keep sending in your hacks and bodges, of course, using GCN Hack on social media, but remember the uploader as well. Where's the link, Ollie?
Oh, it's in the description.
There you go. We didn't even rehearse that either.
It's now time for this week's caption competition, and the winner of last week's competition was Phil Patterson, who gave us the caption, "Ever since he was a junior, Roman wanted to GoPro. It's a good one.
Sorry, there's a problem.
What?
Well, that's not a GoPro, is it? That's a phone, clearly.
Technically, I mean, you're nitpicking there.
You think he deserves a GCN Camelback water bottle for that?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I'm only kidding with you, Phil. That was a great caption, and probably going to be better than my effort for this week's photo. Here we go. That's Julien Vermont at the shrine at Lourdes.
You've been saying you thought were a really good one.
Yeah, right. This year's tour, it's been going so badly, Father. We're going to need some kind of miracle. No? Not even a little flicker? All right, fair enough. I'm going to give up. It's your go next week. If you want to get involved in the caption competition, possibly win yourself a GCN Camelback water bottle, then stick your caption in the comments section down below. And actually, you don't need the uploader for this one, which is where, Ollie?
In the description. Below.
Yeah, that's right. Before we get on to what is coming up on the channel this week, as normal, we will go through a few of our favourite comments that you've been leaving under last week's videos, like this one from Dave Pratt under the most common cycling injuries. He said, my most common injury is a bruised ego. Yeah, that is a tough one, isn't it? Actually, we've all been there. And also a hard one to recover from fully as well. So do be careful, Dave, with that one. Take your time.
Under the video, the 65km stage 17 preview that Chris Opie did, Michael McDermott commented, the GCN presenters are becoming increasingly sickeningly handsome. I'm fed up with this.
Well, you and me both, Michael. Handsome and also talented, which isn't really in the spirit of GCN, I think you'll agree. So something probably needs to be done about that. Right, next up, under Who is Geraint Thomas, Liam Sangaku said he's had his spleen removed, marginal weight-saving gains to the max.
Yeah. He had an accident on Australia, didn't he?
Yeah, he did back in 2005. I don't know how much a spleen weighs, but yeah, I mean, every little helps, doesn't it?
Didn't he fall on an uncut steerer tube or something?
Oh, crikey.
I think that's what he did. Anyway.
Sounds pretty nasty, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then finally we have a comment from TQM in New Zealand under the Mavic Neutral Service video that you did. It was a really good video.
Oh, thanks, mate.
That's all right. Who writes, hey, Si, if you think that view was good, you should ride with me one day. I'm a UCI motorbike connoisseur and the bloody comment's not on the thing.
In Ollie's defence, half the word is missing, but yeah, that's commissaire, I think.
Yeah, I think we need to make that smaller so I can read it.
Handsome, but short-sighted.
I'm a UCI motorbike commissaire. Of course, that means you'd have to come to New Zealand, but that's no hardship, is it?
Oh, good grief, mate. Right, anyway, yeah, thank you, TQM. I would love to take you up on your offer. Yeah, New Zealand, I've never been. Would love to go. Right then, what is coming up on the channel this week? Well, given that we've had Tour de France overload for the past 3 weeks, poor Lloydie has worked 23 days straight with his fantastic, it's got to be said, highlights packages over on Facebook, which hopefully you've seen. If you haven't, then what you've been doing, do make sure you check them out, have a bit of a refresh. Lloydie is definitely, it's got to be said, the boss of those. Anyway, to get a break from Tour de France, we're going to do Transcontinental bike packing this week. With that in mind, Wednesday is how to bivvy out, so how to camp out when you're on your bike, in tandem with the case for daytime running lights, which should be a pretty interesting one. Emma's doing some science. Then on Thursday, we have got the ultimate Transcontinental bikes. Hopefully not too many of those hacks / bodges that we've already seen. And then Friday, we've got Ask GC Anything.
Saturday, we've got a video on cooking, bike packing style.
Yeah.
Then on Sunday, we've got a video on the Continental tyres Le Cadet Junior du Tour, which is going to be pretty cool. We showed that earlier. And then on Monday, it's the GCN Racing News Show. And on Tuesday, it's GCN Show 291.
That's right. Almost as many GCN shows as Sylvain Chavanel has done stages of the Tour de France. Almost, but it's still going to take us another year to catch up. Puts it into perspective, doesn't it? Anyway, that is unfortunately it from the GCN show for this week. Do make sure you give us a big thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. And if you want to check out another video, that Mavic Neutral Service one, if you've not seen it yet, it is definitely worth a watch. Chris Froome gets a Mavic rear wheel. He does?